I know this is a really random filming location for me, and you may be thinking, Sienna, what the fuck are you gonna yap about for like 20 allotted minutes of time? And the answer is that I don't know yet, but I was like sitting here reading. I'm reading Beach Read by Emily Henry. It's very popular, but for a reason. I'm 142 pages in. I read a lot tonight. But I was sitting here like flipping back and forth between reading and going on fucking Snapchat of all things, and I was just like having like an existential crisis about the world. And then I just thought like, wow, I need to like get these thoughts out, and I was like, I could write something, but I don't have a laptop here. I was just thinking like, am I in the mood to write out articulate words right now and try to form coherent sentences and type it in a way that speaks to the way I'm actually feeling, all those things. And I was like, I have a YouTube channel. I can just do that. This is just me getting my thoughts out. I used to do videos where I'd be in the car and I'd be discussing different topics like love and sexuality, identity, all the things, and I guess this is my new video of that. New video of that genre, I suppose. It's also like 2 a.m. right now. The topic, which you already know because of the title of this video, is attention. And attention is such like a... I should start scripting these videos because what the fuck am I saying? I have yet to read or watch or ingest media in any way that describes the feelings associated with attention, whether wanted or unwanted. And I have yet to just like find anything that can really encapsulate how I feel on this topic, because it is so much. I can't think of any good words right now. It's 2 a.m. But it is a lot. And I just think it's interesting to like dissect. I'm editing this video right now. I know I look really bad. I need to preface that if you see me like touching my nose an excessive amount throughout this video, it's not because I'm picking my nose, it's because I have a nose ring and I always fidget with it and twist it. But then from the angle, it literally looks like I'm just like going to town on my boogers. I'm not, just so you guys know. Back to the fucking philosophical video that makes no sense to me. I constantly flip-flop between wanting attention from others and wanting people to see me and relate to me and want things from me and whatever else comes with craving attention. And I also flip-flop that with not wanting to be seen, not wanting the attention drawn to me, wanting to be able to hide in plain sight, all those good things. So, as I'm reading this book, the book and Snapchat both sparked this in me, and I don't know how to explain that. And I don't want to explain my very specific situation right now, because I do have a digital footprint. So I've already talked about me in 8th grade in my first video. And I don't know why that year was so pivotal for me, but generally speaking, I guess my entire middle school years, a lot of my adolescence, I guess, was a version of me seeking attention. So when I was younger, like a lot younger, it would be like literally like me like dancing in a crowd full of people that are not dancing.
What time did you say she was taking Teresa?
Or wearing something fun and exciting, or speaking louder than anyone else, or making funny jokes, like whatever I could do to get attention from people I wanted to do, okay? Attention correlates with your own perception of yourself, because how you want to be seen and how you want people to see you relates to how you actually are. What am I saying? Bear with me, okay? Part of attention is the validation you get from it. It's like the validation of knowing someone thinks you're attractive or funny, or knowing that someone likes something about you, or that you pique their interest. And validation can become addicting very fast. And I've found ways throughout my entire life to get that validation, because everyone craves it. Like, that's just like, everyone craves the validation from others. It's literally how humans are meant to be. Yeah, I guess I don't really know what the thesis of this video is. Generally speaking, the concept of platonic attention, validation, assurance, I guess, that you're a good person is pretty cut and dry. And with everything there is complexities, but I do think that concept is easier for me to grasp. I think where it gets more confusing for me is when it becomes a romantic thing. As we all know from my love and sexuality video, I've never been in a relationship. I have gotten close once, but even that gave me a whole load of new issues to work through. To me, the concept of loving someone and being loved by someone is so foreign in that way, because oftentimes I assume people like the idea of me, the idea of how I portray myself, just generally how I look to the outside world. But when they're faced with the realities of who I actually am, they're more likely to be deterred from me. And that could be a completely irrational thought, and I'm sure it is, but it has been proven true a few times. And it's like, it can seem really quirky and fun that I'm an overthinker, that I'm not laid back, that I'm open, honest, quick to speak before thinking. Like, those things can all be very positive, but they can also all be very negative. And although they're my admirable qualities, they also often bring me down. But I am someone who's literally not normal about anything ever. Clearly, I'm filming this video right now. I think because, without getting too specific about the time I was close to being in a relationship, what I learned from that situation was really hard, because it was someone that I do truly think wasn't deterred by what I consider my downfall, at least initially, and what I consider my least admirable traits. So I think when I compare that to anyone else who's been interested in me or anyone else I've been interested in, it makes the whole concept of being loved so much more difficult, because it was, not that I was loved, but it was like more slightly real for a month of time. I have had multiple people attracted to me in the past, and this is not me coming out here and being like, I'm the baddest bitch in the block, everyone and their mom wants me, like, get in line. That's not what this is. But throughout my 18 years of existence, I have had people confess feelings for me, confess attraction to me, show they're attracted to me, whatever. And that itself comes with more difficulties than I think one would imagine, because it is one thing to just live a life where you feel like no one is interested in you, and you're never shown those romantic attractions until you finally are. That in itself is a whole struggle, the one that I guess cannot necessarily relate to. But I think also when you have so many people, the way I phrase this and the way I was gonna say this, that sounds really sad, when you have so many people that think they want you, you know what I mean? Like, how do I explain this? When you have all these people that think they want you, you want to give them the version of yourself that you know they want. And I found myself doing that numerous times, where I try to appeal what I know that they're expecting from me so that I can benefit from their validation and for them being interested in me and whatnot. And it becomes really complicated when essentially, inevitably, they think it's something more. And truthfully, I feel like I was lying the entire time. And even though I am never not myself, there's different like versions of myself that I share with specific people. And I guess part of me, the less rational part of me, will feel guilty for not giving people what I know I could truly give, or for not treating them the way I know that I necessarily want to. But just because I have an idea of how I feel and how I want to react to situations doesn't mean that I necessarily do it that way because of who I am. This is philosophical, and this is so philosophical, and I don't know what I'm saying. Please help. This is all a fancy way of saying I'm an attention seeker. And then when I get the attention I do crave, I decide I don't want it, and I then push it away, and then I feel lonely. That's the concept. That's the kicker. That's the thesis. That's not a thesis, but sometimes I do find myself like giving what I know in my head is too much to someone, right? They may not necessarily deserve the best version of you for X amount of reasons. What was I saying? I truly don't think I can post this because I keep forgetting what I'm saying. I think we live in a society. No, but we do. We live in a society where we have access to to so much that, like, there wasn't access to all these things before. Social media, fucking Snapchat, get me off that app. Dating apps and fucking, I don't know, like FaceTiming, whatever. You have access to so much, and everything is so readily available to you. All it would literally take is for someone to DM me and say, hey, Sienna, I like you. And I would I would know. And I think that because we're living in this generation, in this time period where it is also easily accessible, a lot of the time it feels less real, and I think a lot of the time it is less real. Because it's so easy to ghost someone, to delete an app, to block someone, to delete a chat before it's even fully sent. Like, it's as easy to say what you want to say as it is to delete it, which makes everything feel less consequential, I guess, even though it is consequential. What am I saying? I don't know if I'm gonna post this. I really don't. I want to. I look busted. Ah! I was gonna say moral of the story and give like a proper synopsis of my thoughts, and I can't even do that because I don't know what my thoughts are. Essentially, my thoughts are the concept of attention is weird. The concept of receiving it, of giving it, of whatever. And it's really confusing, and I don't think it's spoken about enough. And clearly, I'm not the one to be speaking about it because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And even with the validation thing, circling back a little, have you ever commented on someone's post and called them pretty or complimented them in any way, said they were interesting, whatever, and you didn't actually feel that way entirely? You didn't necessarily want, like, do you know what I mean? You didn't necessarily look at it and think that, but you looked at the post or the thing and thought, let me comment this because I want them to hear it. What am I saying? I feel like that makes sense. I feel like I'm actually crashing out. Basically, validation isn't even always truthful. Sometimes people genuinely tell you what they think you want to hear, whether it's for their own gain or for other reasons. They may think they're benefiting you, but by not being completely and utterly honest, they're not. Guys, never be a thought daughter. Actually, be a thought. Don't be a thought daughter. You guys are literally resting on a Jane Austen book right now, and that's very poetic. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking because I don't think I have anything productive to say or add to what I've already said, and I don't know if there's any way I can edit this on any editing software to make this comprehensible. I'll try my best, though. I am trying my best, and it's not working. As someone who said the thoughts in this video, they don't make sense to me either. So, I don't know. Life is just so confusing. You guys are like wasting a mental breakdown. I just had too many thoughts, and I couldn't keep reading, and I couldn't keep snapping people, and I couldn't keep doing these things because I had so many overwhelming thoughts that clearly I have yet to pluck through and dissect and make sense of. I cannot be a psychology or philosophy major because this all hurts my head too much. I think even being a Bachelor of Arts might kill my head a little because what? I think if I were a better YouTuber, I would sit down and I'd write up a script or jot notes that make all these thoughts make sense. But this is a word vomit. That's exactly what this is. This is a word vomit. This is my thoughts being poured out into my phone for my 42 subscribers to watch. But I do, let's change the topic to something slightly more positive. I do have ideas for different YouTube videos, and I do plan on doing more. The past 2 weeks, I have worked a total of 85 hours, maybe 86. No person should work 86 hours in 2 weeks. Not at a restaurant, they shouldn't. And I haven't really had time to think, which I think is why it's all happening now. But I also haven't had time to do things that bring me joy as much because I'm genuinely on the clock so often. But YouTube does bring me joy. And the validation from YouTube also brings me joy. Oh yeah, brought it all back. It all makes sense now. That actually made it more confusing. But I do have ideas for YouTube videos. I do plan on doing this more because it does bring me joy. I'm still never going to have a consistent posting schedule because that would probably stress me out too much. So you get what you get, you don't get upset, okay? Please don't spiral after this. I know I'm spiraling. Don't watch this and start spiraling. It does put things into perspective. What puts things into perspective? That I don't know. Oh my god. Okay, I'm ending this video here because I can't speak anymore and I need to keep reading and then go to bed. I have work tomorrow. Do what you will with this. Take what you want from this. Watch it or don't watch it. I don't care. I mean, if you're this far, I assume you watched it. Take what you will from this experience, from this video. Branch off into more conductive thoughts and conversations. Use this as a starting point, not a conclusion, because I didn't come to a single conclusion this entire video. But yeah, I just have lots to think about I have lots to... That's where I'm ending it. I'm gonna show you my little bears. Yes, they're so cute. I thrifted them. Okay, bye guys. I'm gonna go to bed. Good night. I'm so sorry that I made you watch this. If I do end up posting this. Well, actually, I didn't make you watch it. You chose this, so. Sorry that you did watch it, though.